Hi everyone, so today let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about how to find those furniture pieces. Where do you get them, right? If you're just getting started, that can be a challenge. I know years ago when I first started, that was definitely something that I didn't know. I didn't have the resources. I had very few people that, I knew that were doing this. So I asked some people that I was just meeting in the industry where they found their pieces, and I didn't get very helpful answers. For the most part, it was very generic. It didn't point me in any direction, so I felt like I was kind of on my own, and I thought that was really kind of strange. But you know what? You live and learn, and over the last few years, I've definitely learned a lot. So I figured, why not share that information with people so that it wasn't so challenging for them when they got started. Whether you're buying a piece to refinish for yourself, for your home, or you're gonna buy pieces to resell. There's a few places that are great for finding that furniture. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So number one, of course, everybody knows, it's definitely no secret, and that's Craigslist. Craigslist is a great resource for finding furniture. I use it often. I use it to sell. I've had great luck with Craigslist. With that being said though, I'm really safe. There's a couple of things to remember when you're going and picking up furniture at strange houses. And the first and foremost thing that I make sure of is that I don't go alone. I always bring somebody with me. I mean, yes, I feel like I'm a strong woman, but I don't think I could handle a dresser loading it on my own. So I always bring someone with me. So travel in numbers, that's always a good idea. Because they might say, oh, I can help you load it, but if you don't feel right about going alone, do not go alone. If you miss it, guess what? There's another piece of furniture that's going to be waiting in the wings. So, don't put your safety in jeopardy. So that's number one. Number two, ask questions. Ask lots of questions about the quality of the piece of furniture. Do the drawers slide well? Is there anything structurally wrong with it? Is there any known repairs that it needs to have? Things like that. If you're not handy or don't have someone that can help you, you obviously don't want to buy a piece of furniture that's going to need some work. Cosmetically, that's fine, because obviously that's what we're doing. We're going to cosmetically fix these things up. So, that is to be expected. But just ask lots of questions about the piece of furniture. Ask where the piece of furniture is located. That kind of goes along with safety. You don't want to go in a stranger's house. I know I don't. I really, really, really try not to. I have had on occasion where I've gotten somewhere and I've gone into the home. I felt completely safe. I've had people with me, and so it was a non-issue. But normally, that is not something I do. I ask them to make sure the piece is in the garage or outside on the driveway or what have you. And 9 times out of 10, people will be more than happy to make sure that that's done. So, you don't want to go in a stranger's house and take the chance of running into their walls or breaking something as you're moving, the piece of furniture out, or you just don't feel comfortable doing it. So don't do it. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. So that's with Craigslist. That's my number one. Check it every day, and there's all kinds of great, pieces on there. So the other two that I like to use online are Let Go and Offer Up. And those are kind of newer over the last few years, and they're similar. You're going to scout the piece of furniture, contact the person, and go check out the items. So, same rules kind of apply. 9 times out of 10, people are not going to meet you to, look at a piece of furniture because it's a piece of furniture. And what's funny? I do not live in an area where airplanes fly by, and it seems like every time I do a video, there's airplanes flying by. It's so bizarre. Anyway, so if you heard that, that was an airplane. But anyway, just wanted to, say, the same rules apply. So just, keep that in mind when you're looking for things online and you're going to go and get a piece of furniture. People are not going to probably meet you. It's too heavy. They can't transport it, whatever. They just don't want to be bothered. So where else? Let's see. I love Facebook for the mere fact of there's a ton of buying and selling groups on Facebook, which are great. I do both. I buy and I sell on there. There's Facebook Marketplace, which is kind of the general place where you'll find a lot of things. It's not a particular area group. It's kind of all over. And that's a great place to find things. However, it's not really regulated. There's no people that administer rules or anything like that. So it can be kind of willy-nilly, for lack of a better term. And what I mean by that is you could be in the car ready to go get a piece, and then the next thing you know, you're getting notified it's being sold. That has happened to me. So, you know, there's nowhere to complain. There's nowhere to say, hey, that was mine, I'm on my way to get it. So just keep that in mind with Facebook Marketplace, is that it's not really regulated with any kind of rules or administrators to kind of help you along the process if there's an issue. But you can find some good things on there. Other Facebook groups are private groups that you can join for your area. You know, if you live in Roseville, join one in the Roseville area. There's a few different ones, usually for each, you know, geographical area. Those are awesome. I find a lot of pieces on there and sell a lot of pieces on there. So those are really, really great. Plus they're local to your community, and I don't know, I've had such good luck. Safety has never been an issue with any of the Facebook groups that I've dealt with, so that's kind of a comfort. There are retail places that you can find things. Habitat for Humanity has the Restore stores. I know they have a few in local areas. There's great things there. Goodwill, another thrift store that has furniture. Now, the things you need to keep in mind if you're doing a thrift store, you know, retail type store, is that their prices might be a little bit higher. So, you know, you really have got to want that piece of furniture, or know that, you know, putting the time and effort into it to refinish it, if it's not for yourself as a personal piece, is going to be worth it. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the thrift stores, that, you know, watch your pricing, because they are going to be probably a little bit higher than somewhere, you know, like Craigslist or one of the yard sale sites. Other places you can find pieces are yard sales. Speaking of actual old-fashioned yard sales or garage sales, I'm not a huge proponent of the yard sales just because they take time and planning. And not that I'm not, you know, a time management or a planner person, but I like to use my time better to work on my pieces than I do to spend hours going to garage sales and yard sales and maybe getting lucky and finding a piece of furniture. I just haven't had good luck. So for me personally, it's not somewhere that I look often. They're on my radar, but they're kind of on the bottom of my list. So there are good treasures, but, you know, just be, you know, if that's something you want to do on a Saturday, then you know what, do it, because I know people that find things at yard sales and garage sales that are great. So those are good resources as well, if you have the time. Other places that you can find pieces, estate sales. Estate sales are great. They usually advertise estate sales in, you know, your local paper, sometimes the Penny Saver. Online, you can actually type in your area and look for estate sales online. Facebook, I know there's a couple of places that people advertise for estate sales on Facebook. So estate sales are a great place to go. Typically they'll run for usually about 3 days. Sometimes they'll run longer, but 3 days is the typical. So what, you know, if you're going to an estate sale, keep in mind, again, the prices might be a little bit higher than at a yard sale. However, on the last day of the estate sale, there's a little trick. They will drop the prices. They will be way more negotiable because they don't want to get stuck with those pieces. At the end of an estate sale, typically they're going to have to pay to have that stuff hauled off if they're, you know, getting it run by an estate sale company, or they just don't want to go through the trouble of having to unload this themselves. And so they would rather, you know, make a few bucks off of what's there or what's left. So, you know, typically you can go the first day and preview something. And then the last day, go back and check it out, see if it's still there, and make them an offer. The other thing you can do is leave them your number and say, hey, I'm really interested in this piece. If it doesn't sell, please contact me. I've done that, and it works. So just don't be afraid to put yourself out there and let people know, hey, this is what I, you know, do. And I'm very upfront. When I buy furniture from people, I tell them I refinish furniture. No secret. I don't act like I'm not. I'm very honest about this is what I will pay. And, you know, and typically I'm met very well with nice responses with that. And people are excited that an old piece of furniture is going to be renewed. So estate sales are great. And let's see, I think I've hit all the places on my list. If I think of anything else, I'll be sure to add it on my site so that you guys can know that. But I just wanted to share that information with you because I think it's super helpful. I think that it'll get you started in the right direction and you won't have to do so much research trying to figure out where do I go. So if you have any questions, as usual, please feel free to contact me, message me, and I'll get back to you. So thanks for watching today, you guys, and good luck finding some cool pieces. Thank you.